Hi, my name is Anthony Germaid, and this is an overview of instructional design. This presentation will include widely used design models. We'll also look at instructional design concepts and theories and how they can be used in real-world applications. In my particular case, I'll give examples for educational training for adult learning. Some critical components of instructional design include developing systems that are based on scientific research and allowing for reflective components for iterative improvements. Instructional design is the process by which products and experiences are designed, developed, and delivered. ID involves answering three key questions. Where are we going? How do we get there? And how do we know when we've arrived? The most widely used instructional design models are the ADDIE model, the Dick and Carey model, the Rapid Design model, the Whole Task model, and the Successive Approximation model. There are also three major learning theories: cognitivism, behaviorism, and constructivism. We'll now take a look at the characteristics of all three of the models. Characteristics of behaviorism include passive learning, environmental factors as a strength, and improving stimulus responses. Characteristics of cognitivism are active learning, recognizing cognitive processes, emphasis on the reception and storage of information, and immersion in environment and cognition. Characteristics of constructionism are individual experiences dictate knowledge and meaning, create and acquiring information, and learner-environment connection. As we dig deeper into learning models, the behaviorism model includes the Dick and Carey model. This is a model that focuses on a reductionist and systematic theme that is also about skills and knowledge with the goal of positive learning outcomes. It involves creating essential components of instruction such as lesson plans. All the steps in this model are interconnected. Also within the behaviorism model is the ADDIE model. This is a common 5-step linear model with subcategories. One step needs to be completed before moving on to the next, and it focuses on repetition and reflection. The 5 steps are analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. The starting point or analysis part of the ADDIE model incorporates the who, what, when, where, why, and how. As a trainer, I incorporate the ADDIE model to answer these questions. Primarily, what is the point of the training? The design step focuses on strategy, delivery methods, structure, duration, assessment, and feedback. The design step outcome is to have an overview or storyboard of a course or training. Step 3 is the development portion. This is where all the elements of the course are developed. The goal is to use rich and engaging media to create powerful course content. Step 4 concerns implementation. This is when the course content is uploaded to an LMS, or Learning Management System. The LMS system handles delivery, tracking, and reporting of the course. It is a good idea to do a test run of the course before delivery to learners. Then you can proceed with launching the course. The 5th and final step is evaluation. This is a critical step in order to provide the trainer or instructor with feedback so the course can be improved upon. Here are some key outcomes that need to be considered in a proper evaluation. Did we meet the goals as set out in the analysis phase? Take feedback and place back into the analysis phase, identify other training requirements, and adjust possible changes in media types or approach. Another type of model is Gagne's 9 events of instruction. This can fall under constructivism or behaviorism. In this model, 1 is to gain attention of the learners. Number 2, inform learners of the objectives. Number 3, stimulate recall or prior learning. Number 4, present the content. Number 5, provide learning guidance. 6, elicit performance and practice. 7, provide feedback. 8, assess performance. And 9, enhance retention and transfer of knowledge to the job. CAGNY's 9 events of instruction is a well-planned model that invokes action and empowers instructors or trainers with a framework that is versatile for many learning environments. It is flexible and emphasizes outcomes where learners collect, retain, and apply content that is provided. Another model we'll look at is Merrill's First Principles of Instruction. This model is designed to enhance learning materials that are, quote, effective, efficient, and engaging. As David Merrill pointed out, information alone is not instruction. It teaches that motivation is an important element, but is an outcome, not a principle. Merrill's first principles of instruction include activation, demonstration, application, integration, and is problem-centered. Merrill's first principles of instruction fall under the constructivist theory. The final model to discuss is rapid e-learning, which is under the behaviorist theory. This model focuses more on beginning and end steps than in other models. It is gaining popularity among e-learning professionals. The 6 tips for rapid e-learning consist of developing a list of goals and expectations in advance, and e-learning templates offer a perfect blend of quality and efficiency, knowing how to use every tool at your disposal, keeping learning activities brief but interactive, presenting the real-world benefits, and keeping visual design simple but stunning. As a trainer in mental health, I've chosen a real-world example using an ADDIE model based on an actual project called TI-ADDIE, or Tidy ADDIE for short. Its focus is based on trauma-informed design. When you add trauma-informed content to the ADDIE base model, including a specific number of goals across the stages of ADDIE, you can customize it to your training needs. This model requires instructional design that has to take into consideration care, or collaboration, community, and conversation. These are all critical elements of any trauma-informed model. Concerning the steps of ADDIE, the analysis process, must be focused on the needs of the learners. They may be people with mental illness or their caregivers or family members. Those with an interest in trauma-informed design must understand the specific populations for which designs are made in relation to trauma. There are some populations that might be expected to experience significant amounts of trauma, such as first responders, military service personnel, or veterans, or, for example, healthcare workers who served during the pandemic. For the design phase, trauma-informed design relies on additional guiding principles, such as attending to resilience, belongingness, empowerment, agency, decreasing stressors, and increasing cognitive supports. Constructs must be carefully done in this consideration of this phase. For the development phase, instructional designers should strongly consider the use of mentoring or an SME, a subject matter expert, and use specific cases in mental illness, as it is a very wide-based field. And in this situation with TI-ADDIE, it would be based on trauma. An example would be for those individuals who may be suffering from PTSD from a traumatic event and are maybe suffering from experiencing suicidal ideation. So the designer must take these types of exceptionalities into consideration in putting together a training course. And then finally, for the implementation phase of a TI-ADDIE model, training should support with the intent of reducing barriers to learning. There are trauma exposure barriers that affect the ability to focus and organize and process information. Once again, the demographics of the learner population has to be considered. And then for the evaluation phase, learner assessment and feedback, confidentiality is important in mental health. And for a TI model, ADDIE model character, it must consider appropriate uses of stress-reducing approaches so learners won't be triggered during the training, and then methods such as peer reviews, open-ended discussions, testimonials are helpful. So in a TI-based ADDIE model, this could be a very powerful type of model to use during a training situation or course development.